person, the jury did find involuntary manslaughter. There's, in my colleague's arguments, there's a lot of the jury's decision as they made it. And the decision we have is that Mr. Fisher was guilty of involuntary manslaughter. If it's involuntary manslaughter, it can't really be voluntary manslaughter. In these circumstances, it would require a different mental state.
Okay.
Just wanted to ask you how you felt about how everything went today, if you were disappointed or if there was anything you felt like you wish had gone differently.
Well, obviously I was requesting to be able to retry the voluntary manslaughter, but I know that there were legal issues that were involved. And as the judge said, there was nothing on point specifically in the case to say that the voluntary manslaughter was prohibited. However, under the judge's reasoning and legal reasoning, I do, he researched it as well, and he made his finding, and obviously, I think he's been a judge for a long time. He was a former prosecutor, and I'm sure he had definitely had a good legal basis for his finding. So, which I don't dispute that, obviously. In his ruling on the 1385, which is in the interest of justice, obviously I would like to retry the case, but he made his ruling, and I understand and accept his findings and his legal judgment. So, although I am disappointed, I'm gonna prepare for the sentencing to present everything I can in regards to a just sentence in this case for Grant to the extent possible.
I'm sure you're happy with how it went today,
Yes.
but we just wanted to get you to elaborate on your thoughts on how the proceeding went.
Well, again, it went about as well as we could have expected it to. As you know, I think you heard my position is that first of all, it's not legally possible to retry Mr. Fisher on involuntary manslaughter or voluntary manslaughter at this point, and the court agreed with that assessment. And additionally, there will be no retrial on the deadlock charge. So again, while it's not surprising totally, I think the court made the right decision. You heard it was a very thorough and well thought out decision, which I commend the court for. Mr. Fisher is obviously quite relieved to not have to go through another trial.
Yeah, and then obviously we have the sentencing coming up on the 21st.
Yes.
We're just wondering what your plans are for that, as much as you're able to disclose.
Candidly, having been more focused on this point, I can't give you a lot of specifics other than as all sentencings, we will be presenting, the court has a range of options to sentence Mr. Fisher to. We will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses and letters as we can get to show factors about him that show he is deserving of a more lenient sentence. And then obviously the Mr. Whitaker's family and the prosecution will have an opportunity to be there and be heard as well. I think you heard right now, given the situation, it's a little tenuous as to how much of this will actually happen here, how much of it will happen online, on Zoom. But again, it's now that we're only looking at involuntary, really the range of Mr. Fisher's exposure is not quite as great. So it sort of narrows the outcomes more than if we had a retrial. But still, we want obviously to put forward to the court as much that shows him in as best a light as possible.